Okay, this is a weekend reading. I'm recording it about midnight. Just getting ready to go to bed, and just thought, I don't know, something in the energy. So we're going to see what the universe has for us. I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards, and then we're going to go to tarot, and we'll see what the universe has. Question, I guess, is what do we need to know for the weekend? What does the collective need to know going into the weekend? Hopefully you've had a good week and planning for the weekend. Maybe you work weekends and you've had a weekend in the middle of the week. If you have, this is your weekend reading. We have one card. Let's just see, pulling from the Moonology deck. We had a lovely moon here tonight. It was very bright, and we had a beautiful sunset. I'm going to pull that one. All right. Interesting. Okay. So the first card that came out was Nothing is Yet Set in Stone. The second card that came out is A Time for Healing. This might be a bit dark, actually. I haven't turned the lights right up, but hopefully you'll get the general picture. There we go. And on the bottom of the deck, we've seen this recently in readings. You are good enough. Interesting. Do you know what? I'm just going to go and turn the light up a little bit. I live in an apartment, and the apartment is great, but the light fixtures are in weird places. So I have some area lights, but it doesn't really make it that bright always. All right, tarot. I am pulled towards the Light Seers deck. So let's see what they have for us. For anybody that's here for the first time, my name is Lyndon, and I'm an energy reader. I've been reading energy for about the last 40 years. I have been doing Reiki for going on 30 years, and I've been using tarot as a way to channel energies for about the last 6 years. I started just before the pandemic, and maybe a year before the pandemic, so maybe it's 7 years. I was interested in tarot from being quite young. My father had a bookshop, and one of his employees was a white witch and was into tarot, and we'd look at them and talk about it, but I'd never really used them. So anyway, that being said, let's see what we have. Interesting. So the first card out was the Two of Pentacles. Something coming back into balance. The second card was the Lover's card. And the next card, so the Five of Wands came out kind of sideways. So for me, it looks like it's a relationship. Again, doesn't have to be romantic, could be friendships, could be a business partnership, but it could be romantic as well. And again, the Oracle card, nothing is yet set in stone. I get the feeling this is something that's coming back, but maybe there's been a gap. Maybe there was something that needed to be healed individually and something that then needs to be healed in this relationship. And it could just be a disagreement, it could be a difference of opinion, it could be a timing issue, it could be that somebody's stepped back, but not really stepped back. Maybe not step back energetically, but step back in kind of the 3D, in the real world. Healing, again, it's almost like, resolving something. It's healing in terms of understanding what happened, perhaps. It's a healing in terms of perhaps rebuilding the relationship or rebuilding the connection. So I get from the Five of Wands, like being kind of, sideways. It's almost like there's been a lack of building together, and it's almost like you get to choose how that works out, how that manifests. But I get the sense that bringing it back into balance, there's some degree of partnership. Again, this might be business, it could be friendships, it could be family, but it's about deciding that you're going to actually collaborate on something. If it's a romantic relationship, I get the sense it is, kind of healing the gap in between and understanding what happened. If it's a business relationship, maybe it's just a difference in objectives, and you had to do stuff separately before you can come back to work on a project together or a business together. And I don't know why I get this real sense of deja vu with that. It's kind of like, it's almost like I can hear myself or see myself having said that before, which is weird. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords, which is, again, it's like somebody, riding in or sailing in. So maybe this is one or other of the energies in this kind of imbalance. Making a move and just saying, look, can we talk? Can we resolve this? This is, from my side what happens, or maybe this is, how I saw what happened. Can you explain, your perspective on it? It might be that, if it's business, you're working on something that meant you had to go in separate directions to each work on particular pieces of it, and now because perhaps they weren't compatible at the time, and now having done the work, maybe innovation, product development, something like that, you can now bring them back together and they fit. Maybe they don't fit, but again, it's this balance. It's two pieces trying to kind of fit back together. My two cards that flipped together, the Magician and the Knight of Wands. And again, the Magician is really about manifesting. So it's, maybe you've both been hoping that this will kind of come back together. You've both been manifesting it independently, maybe, and it's now that manifestation is starting to become possible, become a reality. The Knight of Wands, again, it's about, kind of finding a rhythm. It's about finding a way forward, about celebrating it. It's, it's almost like I guess the analogy is, two musicians playing in different time signatures, 2 different meters, and ending up effectively coming together on the same time signature. The music kind of melts, merges, and it's this crescendo, or it's like a 2-part harmony, 3-part harmony, 4-part harmony. You go off in different directions, and then you come back together. any musicians out there, maybe I'm not explaining it very well. I am interested in music. I'm not a musician in any sense of the word. I make noise, but that's about the extent of my musical capabilities. Anybody that's heard me sing will kind of verify that. But I'm a huge Radiohead fan, and they kind of experiment with different time signatures. And Thom Yorke in particular has said he's fascinated in it. And I just get that feeling that it's this discordance that then becomes harmonious, if that makes any sense at all. But that's what I get from the Knight of Wands. It's a rhythm. And then we have the Death and Rebirth card on the bottom of the deck, which is, again, it's like a restart. It's like, having gone off in different directions, gone off in different melodies or different time signatures, it's about saying, okay, can we find the harmony again? Can we find the one and, both be on the same rhythm, the same beat? And Ace of Pentacles, it's rebuilding, it's kind of growing, it's creating the environment for it. Again, if this is business, partnership, maybe it's about finding that opportunity in the market that you've both been working on, and now all of a sudden you can see the direction, you can see the opportunity, you see the opportunity to start kind of building financial prosperity maybe. And it's timing, basically. This whole thing has a real sense of timing about it. It's interesting. I was watching something on Facebook the last couple of days. Of course, you watch one video and then you get more served to you. And it's something that I didn't see in Montreal. It was a jazz festival this year. And I'm going to get this wrong, I know. Was it an artist called Breaky Boy or something like that? Had I have known what it was about, I would have definitely gone to see the performance. But it was basically playing music where the keyboardist or the drummer is just offbeat and then cycles through different time signatures, and the rest of the band are trying to keep up. It's all intentional, but it's incredibly clever. It's like for anybody that's listening from the UK, it's Les Dawson. Les Dawson, a very famous British comedian, also very talented musician, but would play like he would always play wrong notes. And knowing some musicians, I know that in order to do that consciously, because anybody can play the wrong notes, kind of accidentally, but to be able to play the wrong notes deliberately requires you to be quite the musician, and it's not easy to do. And this is what I get from this reading. It's about timing, it's about rhythm, it's about finding that balance, the meter, the harmony. And just to finish this up, bottom of the deck, Strength card. Again, maybe this has been something that has been difficult, has been separation, and you have had to find, let's put that here, you've had to be patient, you've had to have strength, you've had to believe that something was going to come back into balance, despite evidence perhaps to the contrary. And this is the reward for that belief. Everything's coming back into balance. What was out of rhythm or out of unison will come back together and create the opportunity that was there but was separated in two bits. two energies. This is a longer reading. It's nearly 15 minutes, coming up 15 minutes on the clock now. Hopefully that makes sense to somebody. I'd love to know more about it. If it does, if you're comfortable sharing a little bit in the comments. If you like the video, you know what to do. And if you think that the way that I read is helpful and you're interested in future readings, subscribing to the channel, clicking the notification bell will make sure that every time I upload something new, you will be one of the first to know. I'm getting close to 70 subscribers, which is unbelievable. When I started this was just an experiment. I was doing it for fun, mainly doing it for me to get back into the habit of reading. And if I was doing them, I thought it would be fun to publish them and see if there was value for anybody else. I would love to get to 70. I think I'm one short right now. But you can help with that if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed. I would be incredibly grateful. But that's your weekend reading. Let me know how it was helpful. Let me know if you would like me to do any other readings over the weekend, and I will leave it there. Until the next time.